Howdy, how's it going? Welcome back, or howdy if you're new. Today I'm going to show you exactly how I completely eliminated the trigger wobble and trigger squeak on the ROG Ally X. So if you have one of these and you've got that issue going on, this is the video you've been begging me for and waiting for finally today. If you haven't had this issue yet, definitely watch it because it might happen and it is an easy fix. So let's go ahead and dive right on in. But first, I want to take a huge shout out to the channel OGs. Thank you guys so much. And also thank all of you for being here along this journey. We are hitting 10K pretty soon, it looks like. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Much love. All right, so all you need to do is have a few things handy. Of course, you need to have some screwdrivers handy, whether it be an electronic screwdriver, regular, old school, doesn't really matter. Some tweezers would be nice and handy. Get you some keyboard lube and then some washers. I'm gonna leave everything in the links below so you'll know exactly what to get and you won't worry about getting the wrong thing or if this fits or that doesn't. I'm gonna leave what I used below and we'll go ahead and just dive right on in. First of all, turn your device off. That's common sense. Shouldn't have to tell you that. All right, so one of the easiest ways to get the back plate off, you can start up at the top, get your fingernails in here and kind of pop it loose, or you can start on the sides as well, or just work your way around in a circle, but don't just start ripping. You want to slowly flip it first, and then right here, there is a ribbon cable with a little lever. You flip that up and forward. Take your back plate, set it aside, and this is the inside of your Ally X. Now this is the trigger module and this is the trigger module also. What's actually going on and why these squeak, but inside of there you actually have a spring on a rod right here. This is where you want to lube that up. All you'll need to do is take your keyboard lube and a paintbrush or a Q-tip and basically just slather it on. There's really no right or wrong way to do it. If you put too much, it's not conductive. It's not going to hurt anything. So you can see my washers that I actually already have inside of here. Let's see if I can get that to focus. I've got washers right there. And then I've got washers over here. All right, so as you can see on camera, you can see the washers on each side of the trigger mechanism. I wanted to show you before I took it apart because it's very difficult to pick up in this lighting and with this type of focus environment. So I'm gonna go ahead and take each side apart and I'm gonna show you where I put those washers in at, and you should be able to understand where I'm coming from. It's not too bad, but definitely pay attention to where I'm pointing at in the video so you can see exactly where these washers need to go. So go ahead and remove the screws for whichever side you're going to work with. Dump them out onto a safe spot. There is a magnet here, so if it does end up catching one of your screws, just pay attention to it. The washer is over here on the plastic side. And then over here on this plastic side, it's basically bridging the gap. There's a big old gap in between there. So in order to get this module apart, you take your fingers right here and push upwards while you hold right here. So just do one side, this side right here first. You don't want to come over and do this side. You want to do the outer side first on this one. Then you can slowly pop that out. Be careful. You don't want to lose your spring. Should be able to gently work that out of there, and then you can see there's one of our washers right here, and it's on the outer side of this little push thing. I'm gonna take this and show you the other side where this other washer is. It's on that outer side in between here and here. So if you want to pull this little rod out. Very fiddly. There you go. So that's how it comes completely apart. There's the washer. Trying not to lose them. So if it's time to put it back together, what I did, I dropped this in, take my spring, put that back together, drop that in there, and you should be able to kind of work it around and pick that up and place it in the little hole. Then you're going to grab your other washer, place it right there on the outside, and go ahead and click it back in. There you go. All right, so once you get this put back in, here's how you're going to put it back together. So first of all, make sure that your rod is lined up. Make sure it's clicked in on both spots. Make sure you've got this washer over here floating on the rod and it's not stuck up against it. Then this over here, make sure it's floating on this outer side as well. When you go to put it back together, you'll bring that in the center. Bring that in the center right here. Right, so we got both of them centered. You can take this, slide it down, make sure that everything is lined up still in between these tabs right there, and then you can press it and it should click right into place. And so now you've got the washer in between this little plastic piece and the other little plastic piece, so they're towards the inner sides. So now there's no gap anymore and the wobble is completely gone. Make sure that you lube the washers and the surrounding areas, or else you might get a little bit of extra friction, but I didn't notice any friction even when I didn't lube it. So I would lube it out of safety, but you don't have to, but I would totally recommend doing it because these have already been lubed up. Doesn't look like it, but that lube stays absorbed in these metals for a long time. So now you'll put it all back together and then we'll do this side. All right, now let's go ahead and take this side apart. Go ahead and flip your lever right there. Pull the ribbon cable out. Make sure you set the screws where they came out of. You've got one long boy at the top and two short boys on each side. That later. Now I'm using the ghillie kit right here in this particular video, but normally I run the handheld DIY TMR joysticks, but I bounced back to these because I'm trying to diagnose something for someone and I want to be able to make a guide for them. So yeah, don't worry, I still use the handheld DIY ones, but I'm working on a guide you'll see later. All right, so here's the screw for this side over here. Only one screw since you had the joystick holding down the other side. So go ahead and remove that. And to take this apart, it's the exact same way. Go ahead, gently pop that out. Okay, thing. There we go, one of our washers started to fall out. There it is. It was stuck to me because it's got the lube on it. So you can see washer right here. And then I did the washer on this side. So I'm going to put it all back together. Push this down. You need to use something to click it in, just be careful. So there we go, that's clicked in. Push the washers in towards as far as they go. Then we'll snake that around in there like so. Click it back together, and that's how you do the washer mod. And this side has no wobble either. You put it all back together. All right, go ahead and hook your ribbon cable up, flip the lever, and now you can put the back plate on. Go ahead and connect this ribbon cable up. All right, so also don't forget there is a light sensor right here that gets tripped anytime you open the back plate. I covered mine with a little piece of tape. So what's gonna happen is if this is the first time, you need to plug in the power cord to be able to power it back on. Because if you ever open up the back plate on the Ally, it will not power back on until you plug up the original power adapter for at least 30 seconds. Mine doesn't need that because I've bypassed that little sensor, so I can actually just turn it on and pretty much I'm good to go. All right, so once it's all back together, you'll immediately be able to tell the difference. The before and after is pretty substantial. I used to have a significant amount of side-to-side wobble on mine. It never really bothered me, but once it was pointed out to me, that's when I became very aware of it. And I did have the squeaking triggers, but like I said, it happened once, I lubed them, hasn't happened again. I've been testing this mod for over a month, maybe 2 months now. I've been sitting on it for quite a while. I wanted to just make sure that no issues came up. It didn't pop off or get loose or any type of rubbing. I wanted to make sure it was perfect because I don't like sending out mods that are half baked or half cooked, because I want you guys to have the best success and to enjoy these mods and share these videos. Anytime you share these videos, I really truly appreciate it. I see so many of you guys on Reddit, Discord, and different groups that when you see someone talk about an issue that I have a video for, you share out the video, and man, that means the world to me. Also, if you use my links, that as well means a lot as well. No pressure, you don't have to, doesn't cost you anything extra, but I do get a little bit of a commission per link and per sale, so it might be pennies on the dollar, but you know, it all adds up and it all goes back into the channel, and I greatly appreciate it. It gives me the freedom to be able to buy mods and to be able to buy different things that you guys want to see. And once I grow enough, I won't need to even do sponsored videos. I'll be able to just buy everything on my own. So for now, I still have to rely on sponsors sometimes sending me stuff, but I haven't been taking money directly from them. Sponsored videos do help build channels, and I know you guys understand when I have to show a product or a device that was sent to me, but just know that unless I clearly state, it is always just an exchange for the product in for a review, or it's a loaner unit itself. So I really appreciate you guys so much for allowing me to make these tutorials for you, to be of use and to help you guys out. I love it so much, and I look forward to so many more. And always check the Discord. You guys know I'm usually there. If not, there's a ton of you out there who love modding and also love helping people. So I enjoy this community so much. And guys, until the next one, I hope you have a good afternoon, good evening, or good night.